Hi, I'm Maria Clave. I'm the president of Harvey Mudd College, a small liberal arts college of science, engineering, and mathematics in Southern California. And I'm especially pleased to be able to address you who are participating in the 5th online YALA Peace Conference. This is not the first time. In fact, I think I've sent a video for all 4 of the previous conferences, but it's always a joy to be able to greet you. Now, I know that for the last 5 years, you have been doing amazing work in your countries, amazing work to try and overcome the prejudice that comes from many years of war and of suspicion about people from different cultures. And the thing I want to tell you is, I want to encourage you that it's possible to really make change. The change I've worked on in my life is all about making the cultures of science and engineering and math friendly to everyone. And that's particularly important to me because when I was a young student, girls were not supposed to be good at math and science and engineering. And I encountered a lot of prejudice when I wanted to be a mathematician and then a computer scientist. Now, I persevered, but some of the challenges that I encountered made me even more determined to make things better for students in the future. At Harvey Mudd, in the last 10 years while I've been president here, we have made enormous progress in terms of attracting more women into fields like computer science, engineering, and physics, where they're generally underrepresented. This year, more than half of our graduates in physics are female, and between 40 and 50% of our graduates in computer science and engineering are also female. When I arrived here, perhaps 10% of the graduates in computer science were female, and perhaps a quarter of the graduates in engineering were female. So just in 10 years, we've seen a huge change. And just in the last 3 years, even though we've been working hard at it for much longer, we've seen many more students from other races, particularly African American and Hispanic students, join our college. Now, if this can happen here in just 10 years, I know that what you're doing in the Middle East and North Africa can have a change in that period of time too. So I'm confident that in the next 5 years, you as a community will move forward and continue to make changes. Peace will not come without young people embracing the ideas of working with others from different backgrounds and different countries to make peace a reality. You are the young people doing that, and I am so proud of you. Congratulations, enjoy the conference, and best wishes for the next 5 years.
So hi, I'm shooting this on my iPhone. My name is Amy Williams, and I'm the founder of Global Girl Media, which is a nonprofit that trains young women in citizen journalism around the world. And I had the great privilege of meeting some YALA members in Tunisia recently, and they've asked me to record this video to celebrate and send you a message about how honored and grateful and proud I am of all of you in this membership. And on the occasion of your conference on Hamza and Hope, I want to tell you that I'm a hopeaholic. Even though we face great challenges in the world, I'm recording this from Oakland, California, my small apartment, where we are in the midst of one of the most contentious and most difficult presidential national elections ever, where a lot is at stake. So it's gotten a little darker since I've been trying to make this video. And there are so many takes as there are in life. We try many times to get it right, and we don't always get it right. But I just want to say that you come from a whole history of young people making a difference in the world, and I don't think very often adults or older people really acknowledge that. But if you think about apartheid, if you think about the troubles in Northern Ireland, or what's happening in Cuba, I mean, my God, what's happening here in my country with the Bernie Sanders campaign and why he's resonating with so many young people. I mean, his motto is a future that you can envision, or a future that you can see. I'm getting it wrong. Hang on. It's called a future. A future to believe in. Yeah, I mean, that's really hard, but I think, you know, it's Yala that teaches us, and you teach each other that we need each other to believe in that future, and that it is possible when you build a community. And I think that's what you've done across borders and boundaries and in the entire MENA region, that you've come together to share best practices and social media and co-producing content. I mean, this is so exciting what's happening, and I really want to commend you for that. I also want to give a special shout out to the women of Yala, because I often think that women's voices are oftentimes the most drowned out or marginalized, and this is a global phenomenon. This isn't just something specific to one ethnicity or religion or region in the world. We're all struggling to be heard as women, and I think our voices were not as loud maybe at times, but we are as powerful. And I just want to say, you know, thank you to the women of Yala, because I think you know who you are and you know what you've been through and what it's meant to be able to stand up and speak out, and just keep doing it. And since I'm a filmmaker, I love props, and I want to share with you a few things I have in my apartment that give me that kind of strength to keep going. And one of them is the Tunisian flag. I very proudly have this flag. It was flying from the antenna of a car that took, well, an off-road vehicle that took me into the Sahara Desert. And, you know, this is where the Arab Spring began, and it was very inspiring. It, you know, was a, something that resonated around the world for many, many people. And so we haven't lost that. And even though flags might just be specific to one country, I think there's something about the Tunisian flag that's very special to me. The other thing was I was in Tunisia during the last terrorist attack in downtown Tunis that killed 12 policemen, police officers, special guards. And, you know, I'm an American, and so most Americans were like, get out of the country, you know, what are you doing? It's crazy. It must be so unsafe. And I thought to myself, I have a specific duty to tell the truth about these situations. And even though the next day I was pretty shaken up and I was really questioning what my role is and how difficult it really is to bridge all of these contradictions and these difficulties. And, you know, I was walking along the beach and I found this little mosaic. And, well, I hope it's kind of old. I don't know if it is, but I picked it up because it represented beauty to me, and it gave me like this little glimmer of hope. And I always look for beauty when there's destruction and when there's violence, because I think that's what keeps us going. So look for the beauty in your lives, because it will help. And I want to just close with a quote from Nelson Mandela, which, you know, we all know that he's such an amazing light and beacon of hope in all of history. And in Yala, you have your Peace Institute that honors him. So this is a quote from Mandela. We have set our quest for true humanity, and somewhere on the distant horizon, we can see the glittering prize. Let us march on with courage and determination, drawing strength from our common plight and our brotherhood. In time, we shall bestow upon South Africa and the world the greatest gift of all, a more human face. So thank you, Yala, for inviting me into your family. Congratulations on your Hamza and Hope Conference. And I wish you all the best and all the inspiration and everything that you may need to continue your great, good work.
Hi and welcome to all the young leaders of Yala. I trust you to bring peace to the Middle East and to the world, so you have a great mission on your shoulders. I would like to welcome and congratulate you for taking the time and the energy to deal with this very, very, very complicated issue. But we know that it is young people all over the world that change it, and I trust you to do so, and there's no one better than yourself to deal with our very complicated region and solve the issues, talk to each other, men and women, especially you women, I trust you to bring new ideas and your very important point of views. And you know, we have been giving peace doing in the hands of men for too long. Now it's our time, and I'm sure that all of us young people, men and women, it is in our hands to bring peace to our communities, to our families, to our countries, and to do that soon, because we need that. Thank you.
They won't give me a platform to speak on. Females don't headline nor sell out halls. I am a woman. Giving me an audience would be a mistake. I'd address issues of race, violence, and challenge the perception of gender roles.
When you say like, hey, I am Syrian refugee here in Cairo and I am looking for a job, the first thing you will hear, why to get a job? Just go get married, you know?
It was very hard for me, even though I had a good career, and all of that doesn't just count. Just because I was not engaged, I was not married, I didn't have kids.
It was them saying, without actually saying it, your place is in the kitchen and we don't have to lift a finger.
I'm the feminist who used to hate her body and herself. This was because when I was at 9 years old, I have been circumcised.
I'd tell stories unheard and unspoken, of how I dared to go offside, how I escaped the kitchen and travelled far and wide, eyes that have been exposed to darkness and light.
It's not only the men who victimize us, but how the women raised us. This gender inequality was created in a big part by mothers.
We should educate our children, our kids, to respect women. So, for example, here we say if a woman doesn't want to be raped, she should wear modest clothes, she shouldn't take too much attention, she shouldn't put too much makeup. The problem is that we don't make our kids, our little guys, respect women.
Even when I got a job, my life kept in a risky situation. Just walking in the streets of Cairo was a nightmare for me. With the information in my head I can be a victim of sexual harassment in any moment. It was scary.
Have been insulted, touched, yelled at. Once this guy who was sitting right in front of me touched himself looking at me for 5 or 6 stations. Nobody said anything and I couldn't move because I was petrified.
I'm one of the females that faced traditional barriers and ignorance. Because of my look, I face a lot of low confidence in myself and there's a lot of girls like me here in Gaza.
And this time, I stood up for myself and I told him I have a passion for what I do. And I want to discover myself, and I want to study, and I want to be productive, and I want to do research, and this is what I aspire for.
You can do it. You need to believe in yourself. You will discover later how strong woman you are. You can do it because simply you are human.
I want a better future for her, and I want a better future for her daughter, who's now 4 months old, because I want her to grow up in a world with equal opportunities, with equal pay, and where she's told she can do and be anything she wants. And that's why we need gender equality.
I do have a baby girl. She's 9 months old now, baby Alia, and she's adorable. I do not regret, of course, having her, but I would do it differently if time goes back. I would do all I can to raise my daughter up in a way that she would want to be successful.
I've met here a lot of fabulous females, and they encouraged me all the time to achieve my goals and to reach what I want.
What inspires me a lot, as I said, is my family at the first place, in addition of my friends, of course, Yalla, all Yalla members. I have changed a lot since I start working with Yalla. I do admit that I have changed, of course, for better.
I'm the feminist who feels beautiful. I'm the feminist who doesn't feel ashamed of herself, of her body, or anything. And I'm not the girl who has been circumcised, but I'm the girl who became stronger at the end.
But that's not enough. I don't wish that kind of luck to any little girl.
I am a woman with a voice that's not woman enough. Art, poetry, sport, and the dreams I speak of are to be taken lightly. They won't give me a platform to speak on, so I will create my own.